here from Coaching with Kara, and thank you so much for coming back and checking out day 2 of this Design Your Life mini course. What we're going to be doing is diving deeper into those priorities, and I just want to say thanks for coming back, because here's the thing I know. When somebody asks you to hold up a mirror to the areas in your life that you're struggling in, it's really easy not to keep going, and it's really easy to just say, I'll work on this another day. But no, instead, what you're doing is you're prioritizing 10 minutes or less to just spend a little time in some self-care, some self-reflection, some self-evaluation, so that you can live the life that you really want, and you can live the life that you know you deserve. And I just need to applaud you, because that is not easy, and the fact that you are here and you have gone through, and hopefully you did yesterday's activity, which is going to be really important today, and really lined up your priorities. You determined your top 5 or 6 priorities, and you know what kind of life you want. I'm excited that you're here, because today we're going to talk about balance. And I know for me, until I determined and realized what balance meant, and I found that in my life and gave myself the grace to be okay when I didn't have it, and okay to not be perfect, I was really struggling. I struggled with loving myself enough. I thought that everything I did was wrong, and I still work on that. I'm still kind of hard on myself sometimes, but now I'm allowed to breathe a little more. I allow myself to have grace if I have a day where I don't get it all done, or have a day where everything doesn't seem perfect. And that is one of the most challenging things I find as women, that we just don't know how to give ourselves that time. When you feel like your life is balanced, though, that's when you go to bed at night and you think, wow, today was a good day. And that balance needs to be determined by you. Okay. When I was working as a school teacher, 60 plus hours of my week were at school. That is so unbalanced, right? Because then I had to cram in being a wife and being a mom and my errands and my housework and being a friend and being a daughter and a sister and all these things in one. And it just left me feeling so incredibly unfulfilled, because on top of teaching, I was running my own home-based business. And so I needed to find time to fit everything in, and I just felt burnt out. My candle was burning at both ends and it was ready to explode. My anxiety was at an all-time high, and I just knew that if I didn't make some changes, like the changes I'm about to show you and teach you, that I was just going to be really unhappy. I was going to live a very unhappy life, and I didn't want that. And I don't want that for you. And so today there's another printable sheet that is there for you. You can download it. You don't have to. You can draw it in a notebook if that's what you started as well yesterday. Zero excuses if you don't have a printer or time to do that. Sketch this out in a notebook. It is totally fine. So today what we're going to do is look at your current roles, your current life, and then we're going to create this dreamed balanced life, because at the end of our little mini challenge together, this little e-course, I don't want you to have a perfect life, but I want you to feel okay with the direction your life is heading. So the 2 steps that we're going to do is, first, we are going to brain dump out all of our current roles. And this was actually really helpful. I sat with a friend and I helped her make all of her schedule, and this is the first thing we did, and this is always the first thing I'm going to ask you to do, because if you don't have everything down, it's going to be really hard to calendar everything out. So I want you to put on a timer, just 2 minutes. You don't need a lot of time. Remember, all this will be done in 10 minutes or less. And I want you to write down all of the roles that you play. So yesterday we talked about priorities, but today I want you to talk about your roles. So what are some examples of your current roles? Well, I'm a mom, I'm a wife, I'm a business owner. Also in my roles, I'm a housekeeper, so I do our laundry and our cooking, our cleaning. I'm a dog groomer, I am a sister, I am a daughter, I am a friend, I am our grocery shopper, and I could just go on and on. So go through and brain dump. What are all of the roles that you play? And I bet you find that you have more than you realize. I want you to set the timer for 2 minutes, and I don't want you to stop till the 2 minutes is up. If you get everything done in 30 seconds, sit there and think for just the full 2 minutes. Sit in silence and think, because I bet something else will either come to you, or you'll enjoy having that minute to reflect and think. But take that full 2 minutes, okay? So that's going to be the step 1. Now, the next step is kind of a really big reality check, so don't hate me for putting that mirror up to you, but I'm gonna put the mirror up to myself. The next thing I want us to do is look at our balance. So you've got 2 circles on your page, and again, you can draw them in a notebook. And I want you to divide them up. 8 is probably the easiest way to divide them, but you know, if you have more roles written down, on average, 4 to 8 is about the roles that people come up with. And I want you to kind of, not perfectly, but draw some lines and mathematically chunk out where you think you spend your current day. So again, if I was to do this before when I was teaching, and here my pie chart would literally have 75% of it, honestly, and that's really sad to admit, but 75% would be that work chunk, okay? And then I had that 25% to fit in all those other roles. So I want you to be honest with yourself and draw where your life is currently at. I have a feeling if I asked you if you were okay with that, you'd probably say you weren't, and that's okay, because now we're gonna look at this beautiful design life. So the last part of what you're gonna do today is you're gonna dream. You're gonna dream and say, if my life was more balanced, what would it look like? What would my pie chart be? And you know, maybe you want your work to be 75%, then draw it that way. You know, it doesn't have to be 8 beautifully, you know, cut pieces like a piece of pizza. It can be a bigger chunk for your family. It could be a bigger chunk for the time you spend in your spirituality. You could spend more time at work. Again, the goal of finding your awesome is to find what you think is awesome, all right? So you've got 3 things to do today. Brain dump all your current roles for 2 minutes. Just get them on that paper. Then you're gonna take the 2 pie charts, the 2 circles, and you're gonna create pie charts out of them showing the balance that you have now with your current roles and the balance that you want with your current roles. Listen, if you want to spend less time doing housework, you put that on your dream circle, because mine has me doing housework a lot less, and we'll talk about how that is all going to fit in, and I'll give you some tips on that, okay? And I know what you're saying. Yeah, that would be great, but I need to work, and I need to take care of my family, and I need to do all of those things. Sure you do, but can you dream with me for a little bit right now? Can you dream with me just for a little bit so we could see this overview? Because today what we're doing is we're looking at an overview of your life, and tomorrow we're gonna go into the nitty-gritty. Tomorrow I'm gonna ask you to do something to really look at your time pockets, to really look at how you spend your day, not just this overview, so we can then transform that schedule. That's the goal. The goal is to transform that amazing schedule into the schedule you want, not the day by day, because I've learned a lot of really amazing tips and tricks and hacks that can save you time throughout your day to make you really feel like you're in control. So after you finish today, back to this, go to the comments, and put your biggest takeaway there, okay? Like this and put your biggest takeaway. And again, if you know someone who needs to find their awesome, do me a favor, share it over on their page, and send them the link so that they can join. And make sure if you post on your social media, you use our hashtags, #FindYourAwesome, #CoachingWithKara, so I can find it and comment along. So I'll check back with you tomorrow where we're gonna go take this bird's eye view of your balanced life, and we're gonna deep dive into it tomorrow, so then we can make our plan of action. So have a really good one, guys. I'll talk to you soon.